Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my friends here on the Earthship. Welcome. Let's talk about a little bit of alchemy, some spiritual alchemy. I'm Cindy Carter, an intuitive, an artist, an energy healer, and a spirit consultant. This series of alchemy podcasts each Sunday are about sovereign understandings of life and your role as the one in charge of your life. No one else is. As the alchemist of your life, you're remembering who you are as divinity. So last podcast, we talked about being on the brink. On the brink. On the brink of insanity, on the brink of losing your mind, on the brink of losing sight of who you are. On the brink of the unknown, really. So I looked up what on the brink means, and really it means that you're on the edge of the green, living on the edge of the green, or being by a vast green space or by a pasture. That's what it means, being on the brink. So it really doesn't mean a bad thing that you're like getting ready to fling yourself off of a cliff. It actually means a good thing. It's about bringing all of you to the brink. Every portion of you, your sadness, your awareness, your life, your history, to the brink of a new awareness. In the vast green spaces, they lie the mystery of life. Right there is where you can resurrect your soul, but only if you become the witness of the brink and the witness and the observer of the energy that you display. This is where we transform our sadness to joy, where we transform our anger to love. It's all possible if you step up out of the brink into the grace of the green. So I have talked about the green in that podcast, about the green being the mystery. And I talk about that in pretty much every podcast, about accepting the mystery and going with the mystery of life. This is where you have to trust. And so now that you're kind of seeing yourself a little more clearly, and hopefully you're allowing the lower vibrations of your mind or your emotional field to not take up so much room in your body. Oh, and aren't you saying, like, I might still be struggling? I am coming upon a lot of people that should be doing better than they are. But it is what it is. And it's because they're kind of choosing to struggle. Because their monkey minds don't know how to say, I don't know how. I need to trust the universe. Instead of that, their mind wants to make up some kind of minutia and some kind of, rhetoric in the brain that just brings the energy down or distracts you. I'm seeing a lot of distraction right now. A lot of people struggling to find their power center, struggling to stand in their power. It's really common right now with all the energies that are kind of overwhelming people. People are kind of being in their dismay or in their victimhood. And the reason I'm going through all of this negative attributes, I could sit here and pump you full of all the goodness and grace. I could certainly sit here and talk about the angelics and the seraphim. But what I'm trying to do is get you to understand your role in the alchemy. Your role as the one who has to take charge. No one else can do it for you, and that's kind of where we got to this place of disempowerment, waiting for the universe to change or waiting for something else to come and save us. So we're in overwhelm, we're in victimhood. Well, when we only see our life through the eyes of our trauma, through our hurts, our pains, we're really just choosing to see that our reality is something other than love, other than peace. And you're focusing on the other parts because that's what you feel, that's what you see. It's like you erase all the avenues to the goodness of life, to the empowerment of life. I know a lot of you are highly intelligent and spiritually minded, compassionate people. Well, you are to everybody else but yourself. You're extremely intelligent to, everyone else, but you do the craziest things for yourself. What's that about? When are you going to stand up for you, and when are you going to be the best friend for you? It would be great for you to choose to be your own best friend. The reason I'm pressing this issue every week about being your own best friend is that I'm hammering it home that we need to get ready. We, the ones looking to further the light within us that precedes our life choices in goodness and right action, we have to get ready. Those are the issues that are here. They're pressing. These are the issues that impress into our cellular body and mind, that we are, looking at reasons to stray away from our divinity. We're in complete distraction. So stand up. And stand up for yourself. For the reason that many need to get on with it now is that there are going to be a lot of people here on earth that very soon are going to be seeking healing and counseling and realignment and activation and consoling and hearing and seeing. We're going to have to take care of a lot of humans. But we can't do that if the healers are suffering through the piteous, little thing. Pitiful things. Little, I would say petty things. If the, people who are supposed to be strong on the earth right now are, wallowing in their crazy, how are we going to succeed? By helping others see their power. How can we do that from a total victimless place? That's why I'm going to keep pressing this every week. I mean, this Earth ship has been under a reptilian rule for hundreds of years, and that's about to change. I've been watching this and knowing about this rampant thing on Earth and the activities of satanic groups, of dark metaphysicians, of vampiric streams and agendas, as well as all kinds of humans that have taken on the darkness through, pedophilia and human trafficking. I have told my friends that would listen about it anyway. Sometimes I would get blank stares. And they would I could tell it was just coming out like, well, how could that be? Well, it is. It really is. It is here. It's always been here. And there's so many other larger things and more awful things that are going to be unearthed here. So many atrocities and crimes against humans of all skin colors and all origins. Stop the division and understand where we are here to assist a life. Assist each other. But to do that, we have to assist ourselves. And I've done that by not allowing myself to take on the darkness of knowing about this. Just because I've known, for 10 years, it doesn't mean I have to take on the sadness or the helplessness of knowing this. I have had to actually empower myself through it by being the compassionate witness of the life of me, and being the compassionate witness of those within the structure that caused the vampiric, satanic, dark metaphysician stream. Bringing compassion to myself as I view the unearthing traumas. They're quickly coming into sight. Many of us know about them, and many of us are just becoming aware. It's being seen. If you're not watching mainstream media, that is. I actually, at one time in this body, I loved media. I loved radio, TV, and newspaper in my 20s. And I got a degree in that. But I sure learned more about the manipulation factor and low integrity driven activities of these media venues. So I stopped watching TV and reading the newspapers and listening to the radios about 10 years ago. I mean, I understood my role. I'm not here to be influenced by dark agendas. I'm here to empower a life force, a spirit within me. So I get to choose what information comes in and comes out. This is alchemy. I get to be the alchemist. I'm not going to stray too far beyond the divinity of myself. It's like a choice that had to be made in my body and mind and soul. And once that, choice was made, I'm making the steps to get there. I'm trying to impart those steps to you. It's like bringing a quantum mishmash of information into a little straw. But I am trying to get my information from other sources, from other people involved, unbiased views from known, respected, integrity-driven sources that, align with my heart, align with my soul. We all have to do that for ourselves right now. To stand up to yourself, to the system. And that's not rebellion. I'm not talking about stand up with a big old fist in the air. I'm talking about stand up with a big old heart in your hand. Stand up to the lack of integrity by being the integrity. Stand up to the lack of love by being the love. Stand up to the, hatred by being loving. That's alchemy. Changing the energy presented in front of you. Some say I'm a master at it. Believe me, when there's something going on in a room, I'm very aware on many levels what's happening. And my own energy field and how I react, how I view, how I witness changes energy fields. Just ask some of the people that go to my classes. But as alchemists, you have to see yourself and your actions through the eyes of compassion and through the eyes of understanding others' actions as quantum entanglements and energy depletion of auric fields, and look at them a little more unbiased so they don't trigger your emotional field constantly. Are you seeing laziness? Are you seeing craziness? Are you seeing all kinds of activities from others? Or maybe you're seeing it from yourself. So are you being lazy? You're struggling with it? Well, then stand up. Just gather the energy, the wherewithal in this moment to ask the question, can I choose right now to not be lazy? That's the only goal there is. You're not like wanting to say, I'm going to, work X amount of hours a week and then have 20X hours of fun and then da-da-da. No. In each moment, just choose not to be lazy if that's what your goal is. If that's what your intention is. Goals are a little bit empty. Intentions hold all type of unusual perspectives. Intentions can be broad enough that you call into you unknown and mysterious things. The universe really likes to work with alchemy. Universal energies are very literal. So let's choose to be the alchemist and stand up and take yourself by the hand. Put on the garments of cloth over your body, slip your feet into the shoes, extend a hand to yourself and open the door. This is the moment of alchemy. This is not the practice or the reading or the step by step by step. This maybe is how you've used to learn, but not now. To stand up, maybe you'll have to take on the energy of it right this moment without putting it off, by seeing it properly, by seeing the actions without judgment through your heart space, compassionately uplifting your life. From a high enough vantage point that you aren't seeing yourself as, I hope your thoughts are not saying stuff like, oh, lazy again today, huh? Okay, well, just add ice cream to that. No, it's an inner choice for something higher, a higher view, a higher thought, something more valuable on a level so deep that you're actually remembering yourself as the strength and the power of a highly evolved spiritual being, like an adult, not a spiritual child. So it's an inner choice to see through higher eyes at the energy of your laziness. So coax yourself out of the laziness by being a higher wisdom, not a nagging little child to yourself or a policeman that you're going to run from. Come on. Sometimes there's the highly involved spiritual being is engaged in Ben and Jerry's, but it can be a regular occurrence all the time in the fakeness of a Gregorian cycle, like all the time, every day, Ben and Jerry's, or you could just say, stand up and choose life and choose an uplifting existence that can indeed include Ben and Jerry's if you want. But there sure better be some semblance of balance in your thought patterns and your emotional field, or the distraction becomes an everyday occurrence. Just like television, just like the opinions of others. Inner strength, it's often overlooked and missed, wished upon. I wish I had inner strength. Sometimes you pray for it. And it's just a choice away, really. Just a choice. To choose something else is to choose your inner strength. To not sit and argue for your limitations, not allowing the strength to be gained in the negative attribute that you're engaged in. Not allowing the activity. Not allowing the thought. That's a start. Just choosing something else is a start. Let's reward the start. You do have rampant thoughts in your body, and a lot of times when I engage either telepathically or by email with people, I can really feel the swirl of activity in your mind. It can make me nauseous at times to follow your victimhood status or to listen to the downward spiral of energy. I just sometimes want to scream, hey, stop! You really are being mean to my friend. You are. You're being kind of mean to yourself. It's kind of hard to watch. This is what I'm talking about. Self-regulation. Stand up and take yourself by the hand and lead yourself to a new choice. So this isn't like you have to muster the strength or, to even make the decision. You had to just make a decision to live. That's basically what it is, because what you're engaged in a victimhood mindset or a doubtful mindset is a slow ride on the death train. I only see, where is this going? Death. That's it's not going to life. This engagement right now, that could be a pretty drastic image I just gave you, but really, I see energy. Either we're choosing life or we're choosing death, and when people argue for their limitations, I see them kind of getting on a death train, taking that ride and really enjoying it. I know they can jump off the ride. I'm never really too upset about it. But the proliferation of the God source within you is the affirming life force for you to choose life, to ride into glory and freedom by choosing life. The proliferation of God source, because you are the God source. You are the life force. You know what? In my mind, I just heard the word duh. So I'm just going to say it. You are the life force. Duh. Really? If you make a moment-by-moment choice to stand up and choose life, this could be the turning point to a life of unbounded happiness for you. or even moderate happiness for you. Whatever you're willing to allow, this is your choice. But please remember that this is a sacred science activity of allowing lower vibration to be transmuted out of the body, leaving as the influence of you, leaving as the emotional trigger of you, and being transmuted into a different perception. It doesn't have the importance that you once gave it. So how about the thought of, I hear a lot from people that say, I've lost everything. A lot of people are being stripped away of things. And you very well could have been, losing everything. Some people are losing their minds, but some people are losing their bank accounts and their wallets and their cars and their homes. I have personally been through this merry-go-round of sweet divinity at work, and it's, stripping you bare so you can witness yourself minus those things, so you can come back to the core of you without all the distractions, which is the idea of sovereignty and the idea of standing up for yourself, allowing the body and the mind to stand in its super conscious power. It's about allowing yourself to believe you are divine. To be the alchemist, you better believe you're divine at the very least. To know that you do have freedom, love, joy, and harmony in your body. If I was a scientist, I could tell you all the little sciences why. I was a former scientist, but I don't remember that language. I remember the understanding and the consciousness of it, not the words. Like, despite all of your belly aching, you are freedom in your cells. It can be activated. And for these 49 Alchemy podcasts, I have been trying to explain that to you all. That you are just one decision away from losing everything or gaining everything. It's bringing you to the brink so you can look forward, not backwards. To look into the mystery, look into the trust, and allow yourself to gain the power. That's what this podcast is about. It's activation of the power grid within you that's attached to the universal plane. I could go into parallels and parallels and parallels of that, but let's just leave that right there. It's where universal laws and ethics are in place for you to be protected and nurtured by. Just trust it. There's a plan. So I'll ask you, if you're having overactive thoughts and ideas about your victimized past, then please put them down. Stand up and walk away from the past. Yes, I just said that. Walk away from the past. If it hasn't happened in the last 24 hours, I really don't want to talk about it. And I'm talking figuratively or literally. And I've done both. I still do both, walking away from the past. In each moment, I get to decide as the alchemist how much of the spiral I want to engage in. The spiral up or the spiral down. I stand up for the power of divine alignment beyond all that was ripped away or lost. So this is about healing the trauma, the thoughts around the trauma, and how to move on. Is to stand up and walk away from those detrimental thoughts or the emotional outbursts by being your own best friend. Change your own perception. Please hold your own hand and pull yourself up out of this hole that you created. No matter how you got there, even if you were pushed, kicked, thrown into that hole, you're now there. It's now your responsibility to get yourself out. No matter how you feel disempowered in it, it's about taking the choice, moment by moment. And this is the satisfaction of a job well done. That's the praise of your own mind each moment to choose self-love. This is what's needed to get this whole planet on the right track and trajectory. Please pull yourself up so that the organic grid of life can say hello to your essence again. So now I'm going to speak to some of my fellow energy workers or healers, counselors or helpers, therapists, body workers, even the person next door who is the one that everyone talks to, the one who helps everyone. I'm speaking to you all now. This is of high importance with me. There's an all call to get right with yourself right now. I cannot emphasize enough how your well-being, how your strength is going to be required, strength of your mind and of your emotions. Please don't let life's small stuff take you over right now. There is such bigger work to be done. I mean, if you're stuck in small phases of your life choices, how are you going to help another through their huge life choices? Deal with yours first and foremost, especially if you've had everything stripped away. Build it back, based in love and peace. There may be a reason that you're stuck in your modality, or that there may be a reason that you can't see your power right now. It's probably unknown to you right now. But the job to be of service to humanity is to be of service to your own being. Self-love, standing up for yourself and getting healthy, getting strong, getting right in your mind. Check those thoughts, eat right, sleep right, be right with yourself, focus on your health, your well-being. And this really makes a strong force that'll be utilized in the near future. I'm putting this out as an all call to all those that assist humanity. Get ready. There's going to be a whole lot of humans that will be seeing emotional, mental, spiritual healing in the near future. They'll be looking for it, and I hope you're there for them. You're the one who's been through it already, so start doing it. When darkness is unearthed on this earth, it is to be honored, loved, and seen, not passed away, pushed away, or thrown out. Be your own best friend so you can help all these beautiful people that forgot who they were. You can help them remember, but only if you're in your right mind and your right body and aligned with your heart space, attached to this earth space. So I really am asking every kind of person to gather your strength right now and stop the debilitating thoughts and the actions that come from you. Stand up and take control of your life as the organizer of your own energy, the one in charge of the body that you have. Please stand up to yourself. Because frankly, your neediness is not a sign of strength or awareness or wisdom. It's like the opposite of that. It's time to put on the big boy pants and stand up. Be the adult. Be the wisdom-filled being. Take control of your life. Society doesn't have your life. Narratives don't have your life. Other people don't have your life. You're not the victim of what's happened to you. These instruction sets are kind of away from your angelic and divine portion of you, and it's so you can know yourself inside each cell of your body, right down to your big toe, is all the awareness of life and high alchemy of divine choices of life. I just wish for you all to get past these hurdles that are in front of you, that you put in front of you, the ones you made important that aren't. Gain some perspective and transmute your perceptions so you can move beyond the hurts and the emotions and the circumstances that have allowed themselves to define you. So in the coming weeks and months, it'll be really ripe for processing your stuff. So please do it kindly. Do it sweetly, and please stand up to the power within you. I teach anyone how to change the energy around their bodies and minds so that you can harmonize the fields and become spiritually aligned with your heart, living your truth. That's what I'm trying to portray in these podcasts. I will be having a live workshop in October here in Asheville, North Carolina, a 2-day workshop. It's a great workshop. I just came from out west doing it. I'll be teaching holographic healing. It's a modality of energy healing for the novice or the seasoned energy worker, where we rewire the auric field around the body back into its own life force. It's really powerful work. It's suitable for anyone, anywhere, if you can get here. It can't be taught online. It has to be taught in person with all of you. Find out more on my website. I do also have an accelerant on my website called the Template of Grace. It's an 11-day process of activating the cells within you to allow and activate grace in your life. It's really a powerful thing. It's only $33 US, and it's also on my website. It's 11 MP3 downloads that are quite amazing, 15, 20 minutes a day as a commitment to yourself to stand up. Standing up for the life, the self that inhabits the body. It really is high service to the spirit that lives within you. Please honor yourself and stand up and choose life so you create a field for many others to feel their strength to stand up and choose life. Many blessings.